I think the transparency that the IEC claims, this is the time for them to really come out and be transparent, say, and admit to their fraud. This is time for them to do so. And I want to think that with these revelations, if those people at the IEC are men of conscience, they would all resign because they have been laid bare. We have put their pants down. Everybody seeing them naked. I think they should. If they are men of conscience, they should resign. Unless they can come up and explain why you have published from Yao 555. 2 days before elections, you produce a document showing 1003. What is the explanation? Tell us why, after the close of registration in Brikama North, registration continued there. How is that possible? Gentlemen, you all heard Honorable Ibrahim Silla, one of his audience, said in an interview, registration. Even mention a figure, and the figure is almost what the president is declared to have won. Imagine. So they knew what they were doing. This is what he was referring to when he said, it is this fraud. Manke kavoko mole left or mole ya kavoko ye do ko no what the palace of landman para tat ale tapale al melke al yamira kavka te funtila para filantal funtita nata nun kavoko korson tanu diamo keta nu felle be funtila fana meliano kavoko wala be si ala nyinti. And certainly ne fonko jibe yeah right. Then you'll be total 10. Registration out of period and so forth. You have to calculate everything. It runs into thousands. Amanke kemufla damati or tandu. So, gentlemen of the press, we think we should share this with you, and that the government people should know that our rejection was based on reason, on valid reason. We did not just reject the results because we felt that we should reject it. We felt that the IEC, in complicity with NPP, has really stolen the Gambian people's verdict. Imagine what has happened throughout the Gambia. IEC fraudulently carrying out registration to help and assist NPP to win these elections. I cannot imagine what could be a greater fraud, what could be a greater electoral fraud in any situation. But we have here the group by group indication of number of registered voters, and according to IEC's own document, Njao in Upper Salum had 555 registered votes, and this is on this campaign is throughout the Gambia for the all the polling centers in the Gambia. Njao is indicated as having 555 registered voters, which is made of 226 males and 329 females. But 2 days before the opening of the polls, IEC issued and supplied our agents with this, and that has 1,003 voters, a difference of 440 something. Where did it come? Where did it come from? Is that document, and all the that we refer to are all their documents. Where did that 443 votes come from? I had mentioned the Far Outer Mosque, which was not a designated registration center. You all had seen in the social media when our monitoring team went to Darboe, they found registration being conducted in the Ramekunda, which is claimed to be the family home of Musa Dramé. He denies it. But point is that it was taking place in a private residence, and registration always take place in a public place, at bantabas in the provinces and even schools, not in private residences. And of course, all that IEC did and condoned in order to assist the NPP in their fraudulent desire to win an election which they do not deserve. These are just samples. Can you imagine? We have not mentioned anything for Same, for Nyani, for Kantora, or for Fuladu, for Upper Fuladu, or even for Kia West, or Kia East. We've mentioned Sibito in Kia Central. So can you imagine the amount of fraud, the monumental fraud that IEC and NPP perpetrated on the people of the Gambia? And when we wanted this to be heard, the Supreme Court said you cannot. Maybe if the court had looked at these documents and seen this fraud, they would have said, look, we have to hear this matter. But peremptorily stopped us. These gentlemen are some of the evidence at our disposal, and we know that the IEC is sitting on tons and tons of their fraud, which they do not want to make public to the Gambian people, and which they will not make public to the Gambian people, because it is only the cost that can really force them to do so. I want them to explain how a man can be registered, or how 3 people can be registered in under 3 minutes each. How is that possible? And why is it that registration continued in areas after the close of registration, either because out of hours, or the registration had completely ceased to registration had completely ceased or closed in those areas? We want an explanation of this, and I think the Gambian people deserve an explanation. I think the transparency that the IEC claims, this is the time for them to really come out and be transparent, say, and admit to their fraud. This is the time for them to do so.